What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, to another episode of Seahawks Now, your home for all things daily Seahawks news, updates, and rumors. Today, we continue our discussions about Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals' star edge rusher. He's still holding out. Could he be traded soon? And if he is, should or could the Seahawks be there to trade for him? Plus, some rumors about Cardinals star Will Hernandez. Could he be coming to the Seahawks soon? Some people think it could happen. And Cooper Kupp, talking about his adaptation to Seattle and just how he's been able to acclimate to the team. All right, guys, let's start with Trey Hendrickson still holding out. Could he be traded soon? This has been a story that I've been on for about a month now, and there's some big news. He just skipped mandatory minicamp during his contract dispute. According to Bleacher Report, the 30-year-old is not the only Bengals player who's skipping out on minicamp, but he is the highest profile guy, and he has made it clear this offseason he does want a new contract. He is looking to be paid. He just had the best season of his career. He was the runner-up in Defensive Player of the Year voting, and he believes he deserves to be paid among the best edge rushers in the league. He wants to be paid like Nick Bosa. He wants to be paid like Micah Parsons. He wants to be paid like Max Crosby. He wants to be paid like TJ Watt, like Myles Garrett, and that is the category of player that he's in. Chris Jones, also in that category. There's not very many guys. There's a handful of guys, maybe about 8 guys, who can do what Trey Hendrickson has proven that he can do, which is consistently rack up double-digit sacks and just go season after season as a superstar. Last month, he told reporters he will not be playing for the Bengals in 2025 unless he gets that new deal. Last season, he actually requested a trade. They ended up not trading him, and he did decide to play. He had his best season, right? The best season of his career. 17.5 sacks, 46 tackles, 19 tackles for a loss, 6 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles. He had a fantastic year. He went to a 4th straight Pro Bowl. First time being in first-team All-Pro. He was the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, it was an incredible season, and yet the Bengals still don't seem to respect where he is at. They would rather pay their second-string receiver, T. Higgins, instead of paying him. If I was the Bengals, I'd pay him, but I'm not. I'm the Seahawks guy. I'm rooting for the Seahawks, and so what I'm saying is, if they're not going to pay him, we should pay him. Look, he's clearly really, really good. He's clearly talented. The age could be somewhat of a factor here. He is going to be 31, but he's coming off the best year of his career. He doesn't have very much injury history, so I actually think Trey Hendrickson would be a pretty safe acquisition when you really think about it. Now, there are some trade rumors. According to the Cincinnati reporters, they don't think he's going to be traded. That hasn't stopped CBS from speculating. Now, they ranked his top 5 best fits for a trade, and unfortunately, the Seahawks did not make the list. Actually, a division rival did make the list. The Arizona Cardinals are listed as one of those top 5 landing spots, as are the Indianapolis Colts, the Green Bay Packers, the Washington Commanders, and according to them, the best spot would actually be the Detroit Lions, which I understand. I understand why the Lions might want to add to their defense, but I do think the Seahawks should be in there, especially more so than the Cardinals. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are not a contender, so I just don't think it makes sense for them to pick up a 31-year-old who they're going to have to pay a lot of money over the next few seasons if they're not a contending team. On the other hand, Seattle, we are a contending team, right? We are expecting to contend for next year and beyond. We're expecting to have a really good defense, but I think Trey Hendrickson, I think we can all agree, having Trey Hendrickson on this defense would make it an elite defense. Whereas right now, I think it's a great, maybe a good-ish, great-ish defense. If you add Trey Hendrickson to this squad, all of a sudden, it's out of this world. Because right now, look at where your sacks are coming from. Look at who's rushing the passer. It's Boye Mafe, who I think he's really good. And then it's DeMarcus Lawrence, who I think he's good when he's healthy, but let's see if he can stay healthy. And then again, it's Uchenna Nwosu, who is another guy who can he stay healthy? I hope he can. I really hope he can, but I don't know. My fear is that if Nwosu and Lawrence suffer from injuries, which, again, I don't want to predict that an injury is going to happen, but based off of their track record, there's a chance that it will. You know, we got to be honest with ourselves. There's a chance that these guys could both get hurt, And if they do, what is our backup plan, right? What is our backup plan? And because the plan can't just be, well, Boye Mafe is going to carry us. That can't be the plan. He's only one guy. One guy can only do so much. If you bring in Trey Hendrickson, everything changes with this. All of a sudden, that's a guaranteed 12 sacks that you just added to your team. And I don't think it really takes away opportunities from the other guys. So I would love to see Trey Hendrickson in Seattle. But you guys know this if you've been following the channel. Bottom line is he's still holding out, and it's still a possibility. All right, let's talk about some other rumors. Some outlets are reporting that the Seahawks should sign former rival Will Hernandez. He's following 3 strong seasons with the Cardinals. He should be on the Seattle Seahawks roster. Will Hernandez would be a capable pass protector in Seattle. He's named one of the top remaining free agents, and he could definitely help out. I mean, he had a pretty bad injury last year, so I'll just say this. He only played 5 games, but he had a good pass block win rate, 94%. He's a physical run blocker, footwork on contact, and his power pop on tape. At age 30, he can still be a starter. However, personally, I don't think they should sign him this year. So what I phrase it as is, should the Seahawks sign him next year, right? Because I do understand Will Hernandez. Yeah, he could help out the offensive line, but I don't think the Seahawks actually have the money to spend right now on their offensive line anymore, unless he just wants to take a prove-it deal for nothing. I do like where they're coming from. So here's what I think. I think somebody else is going to take a shot on Will Hernandez, right? I think some team is going to take a shot on him. And then I think after he plays for 1 year, if he plays well, he could be a fit for the Seahawks in 2027. Or 2026, excuse me. Because the Seahawks, right now, their offensive line is kind of set. They don't really know what they're going to need as far as the depth goes. I think their depth could maybe use a little help, but I think they like where they're at with the line. I think they like the depth. So I would say wait on Will Hernandez until next year. See if he does sign that 1 year prove-it deal with another team, and see if he does prove it. And if he does prove it, I would be all for him coming to Seattle because, yeah, he is very good when he's on the field. It's just, another guy who struggled with injuries, and it happens to a lot of NFL players. But I wouldn't sign him this year. I don't think they have the room in the budget for him. And to be honest, I just don't think that they have the necessity there for him. I think they have the starting offensive line pretty much set now. And so, yeah, I don't think they need him. But I would say next year it could be a possibility. All right, last bit of news here, guys. Cooper Kupp, he gave an interview saying that the adjustment to Seattle has been new but exciting. Yeah, so adapting to Seattle, he says, has been new but exciting. This is according to Seahawks.com. He met with the media after minicamp. He says, quote, "It's been a long time since I learned a new offense. A long time since I sat in a meeting and had to do the put a face on the board and what's this guy's name. That's a stressful situation. That's a high-stress situation." He says he's loving the newness of the offense. He's excited about everything they're doing. He says it's a fun place to be. That's good. Good news to hear that. Seattle's still a place that players want to play. That's a good thing because I feel like it's always been kind of a place that players want to play under Pete Carroll. And I'm glad to see that players are kind of still keeping that mentality under the new head coach, Mike Macdonald. Players seem to like it here. They seem to be having a good time. It's funny, you look at Cooper Kupp in his press conferences. He just looks he still kind of looks like a middle schooler. He's got his backwards hat and his tank top. But you look at the guy and you're like, how is he one of the best receivers in the league? But he is. He's really elite. He says Clint Kubiak has origins going all the way back to the offense that he's very familiar with, which is of course true. Kubiak kind of has based his offense off of the Sean McVay offense, kind of a West Coast offense. That he says the whole receiving room is learning a new offense. Kupp says the want and the drive of the offense to keep learning is the coolest thing. Again, really good to hear that. The offense is motivated. They are driven. They feel like they have something to prove. I love to hear that. I really love to hear that. He says that Clint is deep into his bag of all the different formations and shifts and things that we can do, so it makes a lot more fun when you guys that are willing to do everything, learn the offense as a whole, and go out there and build, make plays. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better than Cooper Kupp. The offense is motivated. They're having a good time. and they are willing to learn this new offense quickly. It sounds like they're learning it very quickly, getting a hang of things. Sam Darnold's out there getting a hang of things, and I'm really excited about this. I think this could really be a special season in Seattle that is brewing. We don't know for sure. We don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but it could happen. And the fact that it could, the fact that there is a legitimate opportunity here for this offense and defense to build something special going into 2025, that is what excites me going into the rest of the summer and eventually going into training camp, which starts obviously just about a month from now. Well, that's going to wrap things up for today, but as always, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content and hit that bell for notifications so you never miss another breaking news upload or alert. With that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and as always, until next time, go Seahawks.